I'm Leslie.
And I'm Shelly.
And we're
Sisters in Ebert.
Welcome back for another Movie Monday.
Woo!
It's good to see us, isn't it?
It is.
It's good to be out of Mafia.
Oh my gosh, that was a horrible time.
It wasn't a horrible time, it was just a lot.
Yes. And we have a guest star.
We have a little guest at our beginning. We wanted to introduce the man who, our little rainbow, since we're going over the rainbow today with the Wizard of Oz. This is McLean. He is home from the NICU.
So if you saw our New Kids on the Block concert spectacular, we had talked about his birth story briefly. He came very unexpectedly.
And very traumatically.
Yes. So we're thankful that he's here now.
And
all is well.
Mostly healthy.
Oh, we're boring him.
I know. He spent 139 days in the NICU, though. So he was there from August 2nd until December 18th. And he is home, and we're getting used to it.
So if Leslie's yawning during this show, you will know why.
He has quite a lot, quite the schedule to keep up with, and quite the specialists appointments that we need to go to. So he's got a lot, but we're getting there, and he's very healthy overall, and we're very happy about that.
He's a little high maintenance.
A little bit. But we wanted to introduce McLean so that the baby we've been talking about isn't just a make-believe baby.
Yes, now he's real.
He's a real boy. Okay.
All right. We'll take a little break.
I'll be
right
back. Welcome back.
We're here. So now, welcome to the Wizard of Oz.
I don't have any Oz specific items, so we threw some Wicked stuff together.
Yes. We are big Wicked fans.
Yes.
We saw the Broadway musical twice.
OG cast,
yeah,
mostly
the original
minus
cast.
Fiyero.
Yes, but we got Taye Diggs.
That was better. Sorry. But we had Joel Grey, Idina Menzel, Kristen Chenoweth. It was, chef's kiss.
Perfect. Yes, so 1939, Wizard of Oz.
And we are fans of the original Wizard of Oz, too. We watched it a lot growing up. We had a Barbie set that was like the entire, like it wasn't the Barbie brand. It was Wizard of Oz brand. And my grandmother got each of us a set for Christmas and then said we couldn't play with them because they were collector's items.
They're collected. Leave them in the box. They're just to look at.
We played. We played hard.
We did.
And they are, if you see them today at my mom's house in the random Barbie bin, they're not
cute.
They're worse for wear.
Yeah. They've seen better days. You'll find a random accessory here and there, like an axe from the Tin Man.
A hat, like the witch's hat. Glinda's wand.
Yes, but we had fun.
Yes.
And that's better than any collector's
I agree. And I saw the whole set at a flea market not too terribly long ago, like maybe within the last 10 years. And the whole set was only going for like $50.
Oh, okay. We wouldn't have been able to retire on that.
Yeah.
I might have felt
maybe
a little worse.
100. It might have been 100.
Oh.
But still, that's...
Yes.
My childhood was more important than
it was.
That.
Yes.
Okay, so this is 1939, The Wizard of Oz. As Shelley said, this is not a summer of movies movie.
Nope.
We watched this a lot growing up. So, I put lengthy opening credits, all in black and white, as was the style at the time.
Yes, I was watching it with my kids, and they're like, "When is it going to start?" It's like, "It's coming. Just give it a second."
I know. My 6-year-old was like, "Nope, I'm done." He was like, "I'll pick it back up later." And I put at the beginning, it says it is dedicated to those who are young at heart and those dedicated to this story for nearly 40 years. And I said, that is so crazy to think about that it was only 40 years old at the time it was made.
Right.
Because now we all think of it as this classic tale that everybody knows.
This old book.
Approaching 100 years. I mean, like, it's only like, 15 years away from being 100 years old. And it was for nearly 40 years when it was made. So,
yes.
Dorothy returns to Aunt Em's farm, that's how it opens, to complain that Miss Gulch is trying to hurt Toto for chasing her cat 2 to 3 times a week. And Dorothy's very nonchalant about this. Like, oh, he just chases her 2 to 3 times a week.
It's not a big deal. He's just harassing her on the regular.
Now, all the adults are frantically doing farm work because they own this farm and they're busy trying to take care of the farm.
To their earballs and crops.
So she's dismissed by all adults and farm hands and told to just not walk that way home. I put duh.
No, find another dirt road to travel here in Kansas.
Discussions of straw for brains and lack of heart and courage among the farm hands. So, yeah. Dorothy falls in the pigsty for some reason, I put. Yes,
yeah, because she was like, "Oh, it's a different cat this time."
Yeah, it's Snickers. I can tell.
Yeah, so she's like balancing precariously on the pig pen, and then
and she wasn't like moving. She was just like all of a sudden like, "Oh, I'm going to take this." So that's why I put for some reason. And saved. I said rather than just getting up and walking.
They were like, it was like she fell in the piranha tank.
Yes.
Like, get her!
These aren't wild boars. These are regular farm pigs. Okay. I'm well fed farm pigs. So
yeah.
Everyone else is working hard on the farm while Dorothy is just getting into trouble. And Somewhere Over the Rainbow song takes place with Toto and Dorothy longing to be somewhere better. Yeah, which is a classic. Yes.
And it was almost cut from the film.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. They didn't want to include, they thought the film was too long, and they were going to cut this song, and they were like, we'll leave it in. And hallelujah, they did.
Yeah, and it's funny, because this is a musical, but I never really thought of it as a musical, but there's more music in it than I realized, I guess.
I think some of the songs we didn't care for, so we didn't really consider them part of it. So.
That's true. It's a little slow moving at times.
So that's why,
as was the style at the time.
Yeah, so they felt the Kansas scene was getting too long.
It was.
And so that's why they were going to cut the song. But thank goodness they didn't.
That particular one was good. Miss Gulch arrives to the farm to complain that Toto bit her leg and came to have him destroyed. She has an order from the sheriff to take the dog, and Aunt Em immediately folds like a house of cards and is like, it's from the sheriff, Dorothy. We can't
fight the law. You did a good Margaret Hamilton there.
Oh, thank you.
Must be destroyed.
Elvira Gulch owns half the county, and Aunt Em can't tell her off being a Christian woman.
Yes.
Okay.
But she didn't want to say what she wanted to say.
Yeah. Being a Christian woman, I can't. And she just walks away. I'm like, okay. Dorothy calls Miss Gulch a witch, and Toto escapes and comes back, and Dorothy goes to hide him. Because, didn't she just stick him in, a basket?
Her bike basket.
Yeah. No, sorry.
I'm gonna have you destroyed!
You
did it again.
That's because you said you were going to have him destroyed.
No, he's fighting back. Unlike Aunt Em.
Dorothy meets Professor Marvel, who guesses she is running away, and she asks to go with this strange man she just met to Europe.
Yeah,
let's
not go. See ya. On the side of his wagon, too, it says he's a balloon enthusiast.
Oh!
Little...
He checks his crystal ball with her eyes shut and rummages through her stuff, and he sees a farm and Aunt Em from pictures Dorothy has, with her, and was in the, a wall.
He's pretending he's telling her future.
Yeah.
And
he's telling her present.
Yes. Very Pee-wee-esque here.
Yes. Marvel's prediction of M's heart attack convinces Dorothy to go home as a storm kicks up. I put, thank goodness it was Marvel and not that some other type of drifter.
Right. She could have gone with the gypsies.
He knew she was just, being a silly kid, and he's like, you better go home.
Yeah, get home. They need you. Hurry. And needs you.
And that was his trick to get her to go home, which was nice, but it could have been some other type of drifter who is nefarious and, bad things.
She found the right drifter.
Yes. A tornado is coming as the farm is secured. Dorothy is not found and can't get into the basement, goes into her house instead, and is whacked on the head by the window as it's blown open.
Yeah.
Dorothy's knocked out as the house is blown away. Family are all floating by the window in various activities.
Somebody in a bathtub.
Yes. I don't know. Miss Gulch is I think you're thinking of the Parasol of Progress, Uncle Orville.
No, I think there's a bathtub floating by something. I don't know. Maybe not.
Miss Gulch is transformed into a witch, and the house crash lands. Dorothy opens the sepia door to a bright, vibrant Technicolor Munchkin land.
It's beautiful.
It is. And that's the gasp moment.
Yes,
of course.
it is so well done. And it's perfectly quiet. There's destroyed.
My 6-year-old was not impressed.
Oh, my kids were.
Were they?
My girls were like,
I told him, I was like, hey, you need to look at this part right now. And he's like, okay.
Youth.
Yeah. Boys.
He's there on his phone. Okay.
Yeah. defend my parenting a little bit. He does not have his own cell phone.
True, yes.
It is an old cell phone that we use as a tablet that is no longer able to.
I misinterpreted
I don't want to get the hate comments of like, he's 6 and he has a phone.
No phone.
He can't call. He can't do any text.
He can look at videos. That's what he can do.
And play stupid Roblox games.
Yeah. Sorry,
Roblox.
We'll never get a partnership now.
We've spent a lot of money on you, Roblox. Maybe give us a partnership. Okay. So Dorothy has a feeling they aren't in Kansas anymore and must be over the rainbow. Glinda the Good appears and asks if Dorothy is... We can't all come and go by bubble. Asks if Dorothy is a good witch or a bad witch, as a house is dropped on the Wicked Witch of the East. And she tells the Munchkins to come out wherever you are and meet the young lady who fell from the star. The Munchkins are freed now. Yes. And Dorothy explains how she got there in song.
Oh my gosh.
Which I did not remember that was all song. Yeah. A switch.
And Glinda's just there like, okay.
Yep.
I didn't ask exactly, but sure.
And then they all sing Ding Dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. And Munchkins are ready with a full costume parade. Like, they were ready to go.
They were prepared for this moment. Mm-hmm. They've been waiting all their lives for this witch to have a house dropped on her.
The coroner examined the East Witch, and death celebration continues.
About the coroner
I did not
presenting the death certificate.
It's like, it was a very brief examination.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yep, she did. She smushed.
I put that the baby Munchkins in the nest were my favorite.
They're so cute.
I remember them when I was a kid, liking them. Because I thought they were little babies.
Well, they hatched out their eggs.
Yeah, they're little eggs. She is thoroughly welcome to Munchkinland as the Wicked Witch of the West appears to avenge her sister. Glinda makes ruby slippers appear and be stuck on Dorothy's feet as the Wicked Witch vows to get Dorothy.
Yes, so the shoes were transferred from the East.
East Witch's feet.
You could just see her feet sticking out from under the house to Dorothy's feet. And her gross little feet curled back and retreated under the house.
She disintegrated. Dorothy asks Glinda how to get back to Kansas and is advised to go to Oz for the wizard's help. Dorothy and Toto will follow the yellow brick road to Oz and are told about 5 times by different Munchkins to follow the yellow brick road with song after that, and it sets off.
I always liked the Munchkin part. I like those. Yeah. There was ones ballet dancers.
Yes, they were very pretty. Yeah.
And then there was the guys we represent the lollipop guild, the lollipop guild, and they had these jerky moments where it's there's a tick there and they're dancing.
Okay, so she comes to a 3-way split in the road and meets a talking scarecrow who laments not having a brain, only straw, and that some people without brains do an awful lot of talking.
Here we are. He was right.
Dorothy helps the scarecrow down and is sad about being unable. He's sad about being unable to scare crows and sings "If I Only Had a Brain."
A good song. Yes, I like this one.
He asked to come with Dorothy to see the wizard and get a brain, and they sing "Off to See the Wizard" after agreeing that was okay, that he can tag along. Mm-hmm. They get in a fight with an apple tree after trying to pick one up, and they find that there's a man made of tin who is rusty and needs help.
Mm-hmm. So he's crawling at the apples, and then it's she's at a foot.
Yeah.
Just look up. You didn't see him before that moment?
I know. He's standing there. He's tall. He's not... Dorothy and the Scarecrow help with the oil can, and he's been stuck by rust for a year. The Tin Man laments about not having a heart in song, and Dorothy and the Scarecrow invite him along to ask for a heart from the wizard. Mm-hmm. The Wicked Witch arrives and almost sets the Scarecrow on fire with a fireball for helping
Vicious.
Dorothy. I did not remember that.
Yeah. My girls
I
were
forgot
slightly
that
horrified.
she kept showing up.
Yeah. Yeah. My younger daughter was like, "She threw on fire!" She's 4, and so everything is commentary with her.
Dorothy feels very comfortable with both of these misfits, and the trio walks deeper and darker woods. Yeah, they're just all cuddled up, and they're fearful that they'll meet lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! And they meet the lion who challenges to fight them. Put him up. Put him up. Put him up. Dorothy slaps the lion, who immediately cowers.
There's a fun story about this moment in filming because she got the giggles. Judy Garland got the giggles during this scene.
Was it from all the pet pills?
I don't know, but the director pulled her aside and slapped her. And then, like, he was weird that she was, like, gonna be afraid of him then, but they were cool. Oh. Like, she kissed him then, like, it's fine.
How old was she when they filmed this?
16?
Really? Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
She's supposed to be younger.
Yeah,
like,
in the book.
Like, I don't know how old they were.
I think that's why they went with Fairuza Balk in Return to Oz, because that's more like the age that Dorothy should be, but it just confused everybody.
Yeah, it did. But so then she didn't have the giggles anymore. And was able to complete the scene in one take.
Oh my. Well, good.
Yeah, didn't want to get slapped again.
Yeah. The lion agrees that he's a coward with no courage and laments that his feelings in song. He is
didn't love his songs.
No. He also is invited to go to the wizard. And the witch keeps her eyes on the crew in her crystal ball and puts sleeping potion in the poppy field remotely with magic. Like, she was just able to do it like nowhere near there. Yeah.
Like all these other times she showed up. I would have showed up. Send your fireball
that
send
way.
Your fireball. Yeah.
The quartet can see Oz is beyond the poppy field, and Toto,
just run right through.
Dorothy, and the lion all fall asleep in the poppy field. And the Tin Man and the Scarecrow scream for help. Glinda,
help! Like, who are you screaming to? The Munchkins are miles back.
So only the mortals were affected by this poppy.
You need to have lungs to fall asleep.
I guess the Tin Man also did, and the Scarecrow also did not have lungs. So. Glinda hears and sends Snow to wake them, but Tin Man rusts again, so must be oiled again. Thank goodness they brought the oil can with.
Yes.
I would have left it. It was heavy, you know.
But he needs it. Like,
he needs it, yeah. The four continue on the yellow brick road to the Emerald City, and the witch sends her flying monkeys after them.
Those monkeys. Yeah. Horrifying.
I put some silliness from the guard of Emerald City at the gate as he informs them no one's allowed to see the wizard.
Yes. Are you leaving now? Goodbye.
They prove they were sent by Glinda with the ruby slippers, and
it's like, oh dang, those shoes.
Yeah, somehow proves that they were sent by Glinda.
Yeah, well, a great pair of shoes can get you in anywhere. You gotta look the part.
So we take the carriage led by the horse of many colors to get Primp to see the wizard during
the horse just keeps changing
a
colors.
Merry Old Land of Oz song. Yes, and that my son did enjoy that part with a horse, but they were all different horses.
They colored them with Jello.
Oh,
and that's how they got the color, and they had to quick do the takes because they were licking it off.
Okay. So yes. Okay. So they take the carriage led by the horse of many colors to get Primped to see the wizard during the Merry Old Land of Oz.
This is the part I always forget about, but then I remember how much I enjoyed it. Like when they came out looking all sparkly and fresh.
I love Dorothy's hair.
Yeah.
She got a blowout.
Yeah, she's looking.
The Wicked Witch Sky writes, "Surrender, Dorothy." That'll show her. And she's shooed away from the wizard again, even though the lion got a permanent for the occasion. I got a permanent.
Yeah. Yeah, he was quite curled.
He was very primped.
He was looking good. Sort of.
Yeah. As good as he can.
As a man lion can look. Which also, side note, that suit was made from real lion skin.
Mm-hmm. I remember hearing that too. Yeah, I was like, the guard finds out that Dorothy is who she is, it's who the witch is after. So he goes. Yeah. So he goes to talk to the wizard as the lion sings, "If I Were King of the Forest."
Oh, I hate this part though.
I did too.
It's so boring.
It was very boring, but they were like, I remember watching that as a kid, like for some, like I do remember that part.
I remember it, but I remember not.
Because like I remember like them like putting the thing around him and like, well, thank goodness we just have this stuff we can put around you.
Yeah, they just pick up this cloak they find. Yeah. I think it was the
rug. It was made of
flowers.
Like flowers. Yeah. The guard returns and tells them to go away. Dorothy cries and the guard takes pity and lets them in.
Yeah, he's crying. Then he's like, oh.
So they're let into the imposing green castle hallway, and the lion is too scared and holds things up as Wizard's voice booms to come forward and has the four introduce themselves, but interrupts them and tells them why they came with fire and explosions. The lion passes out from fear at his turn, but tells them he'll grant their wishes if they bring him the Wicked Witch's broomstick.
Yeah, because Dorothy stands up for them. She's like, yo, you're not being very nice.
No, we came all this way.
Yeah.
You're going to do this.
Dorothy's always, she stands up for herself, I must say.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not going to let people walk
yeah,
over
it was,
like Annie
nice
does.
to see. Yeah, Annie Ann was like, oh, it's from the sheriff. All four go through the haunted forest to the witch's castle. And the witch sends monkeys to get Dorothy and bring her alive. Doesn't care what happens to the others.
She has to have her give her the shoes, right?
Yeah. But it's silly on her part because they could help Dorothy get away. Like, you want to secure all of them. Like,
yes.
Why, why take a
all
chance?
the prisoners.
Like,
right.
Why take a chance? Okay. So, okay. All four, bring them alive, doesn't care what the four fight the monkeys who fly Dorothy away, and they destroyed the scarecrow who must be reassembled again.
And they brought Toto also, didn't they? They picked up Toto and brought him with.
Yeah. The witch has Toto, and they brought him to the witch, and threatens to drown him if Dorothy gives up if Dorothy doesn't give up the slippers. She agrees, but slippers are protected by magic as long as Dorothy is alive. So let's just tell her she needs to kill Dorothy without saying we need to kill Dorothy. Yeah. The witch plans to kill Dorothy as Toto escapes and will be dead after absurdly large hourglass runs out.
What's the delay?
Right.
Like,
why don't we just do this?
Job done.
Yeah.
You want these shoes so bad?
It's a huge hourglass.
It is. Like 7 hours later, she can have the shoes.
She calls out to Auntie M for help in vain. Because where's Auntie M coming? I mean, come on now.
And originally there was a reprise of Somewhere Over the Rainbow here, but it
seems inappropriate.
It was too sad.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, Judy Garland started crying. The whole set was crying. They're like, let's cut this.
Yeah.
It's a bit much. It's a little heavy. This is already a scary part.
Yeah. The witch left, and Toto comes to lead others to Dorothy for help. And the trio gets a plan to get by the guards.
I love that part.
Yeah.
It's like the only part where they're like kind of clever.
Yeah.
Like they get swarmed by the guards, and then there's just like a kerfluffle, and then they show up in their costumes, and it's like, I don't know what happened. Where are these naked guys?
I know. Right?
These naked guards.
Because they're not wearing hay or straw or whatever.
No, they're not. And like, are they dead?
Yeah. The hourglass is almost out, and the trio is caught by 3 guards, but somehow fight and steal their clothes. The 3 get into Dorothy and free her, but caught by the witch, who, along with guards, chase them.
And they're like, oh! Like,
yeah.
Very a little Three Stooges.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So they're running around the castle here.
Yeah. Yeah, I was ready for the Benny Hill theme to go on. Dorothy and crew are lost in the castle and caught again by the witch, who lights the scarecrow on fire. Yeah. Dorothy throws water on the scarecrow to put him out and hits the witch, who melts to death.
Yeah, bit of an oversight of the witch to just keep this bucket hanging around.
Yeah, not a great idea.
No, your one nemesis here.
All celebrate death, including the guards, who give Dorothy a broom and return to the wizard.
That confused me. Like,
why are you helping?
Why are you doing her bidding? Is she that powerful?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
I mean, if we all know about this little water issue, maybe we could have somebody whispered that to Dorothy. And
she probably had a smell, never showering. Oh, man.
The green, Shell. The green.
The green.
It wasn't her skin color. That was her.
It was algae.
Okay. Yes.
So we get the broom.
Yeah, the return to the wizard, and then the wizard tells them to return tomorrow. It's all protest.
Come on back.
And catch a regular man pretending he was great and powerful Oz by Toto, who is catching him, who caught him.
Yeah, he like pulls back this curtain.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. The wizard makes the scarecrow an honorary doctor of thinkology. Which,
it's like an honorary doctorate.
I was gonna say that's like I was just gonna say that's those honorary degrees that they give people now.
Like, sure, yeah, you went to Harvard.
And awards the lion the Triple Cross and makes him part of the Legion of Courage. That's a great leader of the Legion of Courage. Gives the Tin Man a random heart watch.
Yeah, he's like, here's some old junk I found.
Says he will take Dorothy to Kansas himself by balloon that landed him in Oz to be a con man. As leaving, he leaves the Scarecrow and Tin Man and Lion in charge. So like, glad.
Yeah, just rule the city now.
I mean, he did before, but once everybody sees you're a fraud, I think your power might not be.
They didn't seem to care. I don't know. They watched him go by balloon.
They have quite amount of pawns in this city. So many pawns. Toto.
All the witches running rampant. I guess they're looking for anybody to lead.
So that's probably how the witches came to power.
Like look at all these guys. We can just walk all over.
So Toto jumps out, and Dorothy goes after him as the wizard leaves without them.
Yeah, so he can't control this balloon that he's flying.
Yep.
Whoa.
And Glinda returns, coming and going by Bubble, who informs Dorothy that she's always had power to return home the whole time and learned her lesson. Which was informed by Glinda that she must click her heels together and can go home. And she's like, you had to learn it first. Like, what?
I think she already learned it. She wanted to go home. That's why she was asking to go home.
And I just put, bruh.
You had it all along. You just wanted me to get rid of these witches for you.
That's exactly what she wanted. Glinda is the evil villain of this story. She is using this sweet farm girl to do her bidding.
Now the wizard's out. She's coming into power. She's stepping right in there.
Right in, yeah.
She's the last witch, the good witch.
She kicked this Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow to the curb, and she's like, nope, I'm coming in here.
Well, and there's that part at the beginning when she's like, well, only bad witches are ugly. But she had just asked Dorothy if she was a good witch or a bad witch. A little rude, if you ask me.
That was like a backhanded compliment.
You're not ugly, but you're not exactly beautiful like me.
Are you a neutral witch? Dorothy clicks her heels, saying there's no place like home over and over, and awakes in her bed, surrounded by family and farmhands. And Professor Marvel shows up too for some reason.
Yeah, just peeping through the window.
I heard you had some trouble.
So, for the longest time as a kid, I didn't realize they were
Me neither.
Her family.
Me neither. I didn't know that either.
I didn't realize it was a dream.
Yeah.
Supposedly. And I guess that makes people really mad about how they made the movie. Because it's not the book. Like, the book Oz is real, and in the movie they made it a dream.
Okay.
And people get really up in arms about
I've never heard that, really. All think she dreamed it, and Dorothy says she'll never leave again. No place like home. And I was like, no, they'll never be rid of her. I have a couple fun facts that we didn't go over yet, but I don't want to step on your toes.
Share them, and then I'll see if I got any left.
So Uncle Henry and Auntie Em are the only characters with no Oz counterparts. And I don't know why.
Well, they show Auntie Em, in the...
relatives flowing by and
when she's in the witch's castle, she sees her in the crystal ball.
In the crystal ball, yeah.
But it's other than that, Uncle just gets forgotten.
Yeah, he's a complete side character. The Oz t-shirts during the primping scene that say Oz on them are the first known example of graphic t-shirts in history.
Oh my gosh, you got your start.
I did, yeah.
In the Wizard of Oz.
And they're not sure their origin, if they were how they were printed or what they did to do them, but that was a thing. There was no shirts that had words and stuff printed.
It was
before
just
that.
A stencil with paint, probably.
Probably, but that was the first time they put a design on a shirt that wasn't part of the fabric or wasn't. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and the wizard's coat.
I do know this.
Was actually L. Frank Baum, who is the author of the Oz series coat. They found it. They were trying to find this perfect coat for this wizard, and production did not care for any of the coats that they were coming back with. They found it in a secondhand store, used it, and then at the end realized in the stitching, in the tag, it was L. Frank Baum's actual
they took it to his widow.
Who confirmed that it was his.
Yeah, this was his.
So it was completely by accident.
It is so cool.
And it is so cool.
I think they gave it back to her.
They did. Yeah, they returned it to his widow. But that to find the perfect jacket, use it, and then find that it was actually the author's jacket. It was
so cool.
So perfect. Yeah. That's my favorite fact about that. And that's all I got.
That's it. Okay, I'm trying to think what else. So Margaret Hamilton plays the Wicked Witch, but she's so nice in real life.
She's the sweetest lady.
And everybody was like, "We can't be afraid of you." But she was so good at it that they were like, "Okay, you're playing it
And
perfectly."
she came on that episode of Mr. Rogers
to show kids
that it was pretend.
You can't go by what people look like. She's just a beautiful human being, and she and Judy Garland kept in touch through the years too, and I guess. I forget what it was. Judy Garland was showing her the dress she was excited to wear for like graduation or something. And then she ended up having to go on like tour and never got to go to the graduation. And Margaret Hamilton like called up whoever was responsible for the tour and like yelled at them like, why didn't you let her go to this? She was so excited about it.
Oh, that's so sweet. But
yeah, and
the Tin Man's makeup, the original Tin Man.
Yeah, so the Tin Man got burned.
It was the original Tin Man.
Yeah, so
this
he was
not the
replaced.
original Tin Man. Yeah,
he got replaced like as they started filming because the makeup like destroyed.
He had
him.
like an allergic reaction to like the whatever silver
it was
paint
aluminum
something that they used.
So they had it was a powder and it got in his lungs. Oh, that's what it was. He was like breathing it in. So then they switched it to some other form, not a powder. But the damage was done.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, that kind of... So, like, I think it's some of the singing parts aren't... I don't know who played him then. I forget the actor's name.
Not sure.
The replacement. That's not his voice. It's like the original guy in some of the parts because they had already started filming some stuff. And then same with Margaret Hamilton. Like, when she came up to do that first scene when she's in Munchkinland, she got burned really badly
with whatever powder they used
by the smoke, the fire stuff, and she got like third and second degree burns on her face and her arms.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and then like the makeup too, like it messed her up for quite some time.
This movie has quite the storied history to it.
There's really a lot of like documentaries and stuff.
Yeah, and they definitely like cut, like it was the actors were not taken care of then like they are now.
Yes, and like the people who played the Munchkins, they got paid like $50 a week or something, and Toto got paid $125 a week.
Yikes.
You're making less than a dog.
Yikes. And that urban legend about the Munchkin is not true.
Yes, it's not true.
If you've ever seen it, I guess it's just crappy VHS quality. But there's supposedly like a Munchkin unalive in one scene. It's like a peacock. It's a bird. You can see it walking around. Because
they brought in birds to make it seem more fantastical. So they just had like these random exotic birds
just walking around. It's
and
the one with the Tin Man and the Scarecrow.
Yeah, you see it. It's like, what the heck is that bird?
He's just random. He's just wandering around. Like he is not addressed in this scene at all.
And one group of the Munchkins, it's like a singing troupe, and they came from Germany. They were escaping the Nazis. Like they used it as like an escape route to come to America and like get away.
They were Jewish.
I don't know exactly, or if it was just like to get away from the unsettledness. Oh. I don't know the whole ins and outs of it, but I know there was like so like some of them didn't even speak English. Like, they were just there, and they dubbed over voices, and they were just pretending like they were saying it.
Craziness.
Yeah. It's such a good movie.
It is. Though. It's a classic.
Yeah, you've got to. Can't talk. But yeah, it's something you've got to see, and like I was so excited to show my girls, and they enjoyed it very much.
I do have hope that when my 2-year-old is older, and that my older child will be more into it by
more
then.
Inclined.
Yes.
Maybe if he watches it with my girls.
Maybe. Yeah, we gotta trick him into.
They enjoyed it.
Yeah, because he'll fold the peer pressure from her kids.
Yeah. He always does. Little Annie M is what he is.
Well, we know who Dorothy is in your bunch.
Yes, we do. Standing up for herself like none other.
But we thank you for joining us. Yes. Is this one that you are just obsessed with too?
Yes. Did you watch it?
And did you see, like, I know like some people, like maybe the older generation aren't as keen to Wicked, because I love that Wicked compliments this so much.
Yes. Yeah.
And so those who haven't seen the play will get it when the sequel comes out.
Yeah, it'll connect.
It'll connect it to this story
Act
more.
2 connects to This Wizard of Oz.
But when that first came out back in 2003, that was something. The play, like the book's been around since 95 or something like that.
Yeah.
But
and the play's so different from the book though too.
It is, yeah. So I loved it. So we're musical theater nerds, so we've always loved that stuff. And this had more songs in it than I remember.
It did, yes. Some classics.
They're not they're not huge showstoppers, all of them.
No.
So I think that's why
it doesn't feel like
over.
A musical. Yes.
But we thank you for joining us. We're out of our dark January heavy movies.
That was rough.
Trying to move on
Never
to some
again
lighter
will we
fare.
do a series. Like
Not so long of a series, at least. That was a bit... We had to get through The Godfather.
We had to.
And then I wanted to not just have The Godfathers, but the other, like, at least one other movie, too. So that's how it got to be a little lengthy, but yeah. You
Thanks
stuck
for
with
sticking
us.
with
Yeah. And we appreciate it. But thank you for joining us. If you look in the description below on this video, you will see all the links to our social media. We are at Sisters and Ebert on Facebook and Instagram, and obviously here on YouTube if you found us. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that you'll be notified when we put out new content. And we look forward to carrying on this journey of this year. So.
Over the rainbow.
Over the rainbow, yes. All right, but thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week at the movies.